Hey, big dreamers, this is Liz from Big Dream with Liz. Thanks for joining me today. If you are new here, this is where I give intuitive advice based on what I love, what I think I'm good at, and what I think the world needs most. And for all my current subscribers, thank you for subscribing to this channel. I hope that it has helped you so far, and I am still developing what it looks like for me now that it is the end of 2021, going into 2022 tomorrow, which is an exciting numbered year for me. So in the meantime, I have cards I will draw based on what I love, what I think I'm good at, and what I think the world needs most. And some of you may have already seen my story on Instagram and Facebook, my quiz with Liz, big quiz with Liz. And if not, that's okay. I might do another one it might be a more in-depth, detailed for people who are already showing interest. But what I plan to do with my big dreams is eventually create a creative center for preteens, teens, young adults to adults. So no little kids at this point in time. It's not my strength, my personal strength to teach them, to teach that age, I guess I'm saying. But in the future, possibly I could open it up, expand it with another department for the younger people. But at this point in time, I want to focus on self-awareness, self-growth, personal development, self-confidence, and all of the things that will help you as an individual to grow into who you were always meant to be. And of course, my main thing of self-expression, my main form of self-expression is dancing. Although I've been on a bit of a break with it because my body started pooping out on me, but I have been healing both with my diet and with my mind, healing and, spiritual, all kinds of stuff. And my physical activity, I'm resuming my dance exercises to build up strength in my body again so that I can teach again. Also starting physical therapy. I've been doing acupuncture, I've been doing chiropractic and naturopath visits and massage. So I've been trying a lot of different things. And because I received that autoimmune diagnosis, but I am not going to let it stop me. In fact, I plan on healing my body from my mind into the rest of my body. Starts with the mind, I believe. Okay, so here we have, and you know what else? 2021 was a good year. It was crazy. There's a lot of ups and downs for me personally. But overall, I feel my main lesson was to realize that I needed to believe in myself, that my big dreams were not silly, that they aren't stupid, they aren't a waste of time or energy, that all the things that have been planted in me since I was little are meant to come about in one way or the other. And I've been formulating a plan based on my own self-awareness and healing this last year. Well, a couple years in the making, but mostly this last year was for healing for me, for sure. So I'm excited to bring about this creative center idea. It's mostly going to be online for a while until obviously have the money and the resources or whatever to make it a building somewhere. And eventually it would be cool to have like a chain, to have, not like a chain like Target, but like, to have a few buildings around the world that people can go to and get healing. I want it to be a holistic approach to creative arts, performing arts. So I want there to be music and art and writing and theater and anything else where your brain comes up with an idea. That's creativity. So really anything could apply. But at this point in time, it's going to be more focused on dance because that's my main passion, is dancing and music and personal development. So there will be coaching courses available, and I guess I'm not going to force it on people, but I would love to see people become the strongest version of themselves while using their creativity to formulate new ideas for themselves and for others, and you know, create leaders in the creative world. You know, there's more creativity in people than anyone gives credit to. So I'm here to help bring out the inner magic you've always had but forgot about. That's kind of where that goes. Okay, let's get on with this flavor generator card, intuitive advice cards here. What I love: humor and quirks in people. What I think I'm good at: honesty, transparency, authenticity, sincerity, and kindness. And what I think the world needs most is to think for themselves or to have individuality. I have gotten the last two before, but not the first one. So let's try it. What can I help you guys? How can I help you guys think for yourselves and have more individuality? Using my skill of honesty, transparency, authenticity, sincerity, and kindness, and my love of humor and quirks in people. Well, at least they go together really well. I would say, it's the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, so one thing I have been realizing about myself lately is that I have been too uptight, too rigid in my thinking and in my processes on a daily basis. And instead of just having fun, realizing like what it is that makes me excited to do every day and going with the flow, not putting so many rules and regimens. That's not the word. There's too many rules or too many restrictions that I put on myself over the years, and instead of just letting things flow, have fun, enjoy the moment, however it is for me, and that's being an individual and thinking for myself. So whatever that is for you is okay. Like, that's what makes you excited to be alive in that moment. Like, do that, as long as it's healthy for you and your mind and people around you. But yeah, I think the humor and quirks, definitely something I like about myself and haven't really shown to anybody. I'm only recently becoming more confident in being quirky and silly and maybe funny. I'm not sure if I'm actually funny, but like, I make myself laugh a lot of the time, and that's good, because if you can't make yourself laugh, then you have to find someone else who can, and might as well just try to have fun and make yourself happy. And maybe it'll ooze out onto everybody else around you as well. Yeah, so that's part of being honest, transparent, authentic, sincere, and kind, is being yourself. So if you are being yourself and you're being true to who you are, to a certain degree, I have a hard time with being professional and still, like, I want to be authentically me all the time. But in professional scenarios, maybe you have to, like, kind of tone things down a little bit depending on where you work or how, where you are. But I am beginning to realize, all along I had, been working for other people and learned a lot of different skills, but ultimately I am meant to be my own boss and to lead others to also be okay with who they are. And if my business model is different, that's good, because that means it doesn't exist yet. I'm doing something different than everybody else is doing. And that's exciting. So stick to your guns and be who you were meant to be. And maybe that'll actually help other people and take you somewhere in life. Take you where you've always wanted to go. And what else about this? Yeah, think for yourselves and have individuality. It's strange because I always thought that I was very authentic, but in the last couple of years, I realized that I was hiding myself from the majority of people on many different levels. And I still, I don't like politics or religious talks, to be honest. I don't like to go there too often. Obviously, I have values in life that are going to come out, my top values are going to come out louder than other values, and different people aren't going to line up with my priority of values, the priority list of my values. But that doesn't mean I don't have similar values to those around me. We just are prioritizing them differently. And that's my recent discovery on how I think what sets people apart, and people get in these heated arguments because they don't see that the other person may value something similar to what they value, but in a different light, in a different perspective, in a different level of priority, perhaps. That's just a side note, but yeah. The fear of rejection is the main reason that you or me have not put ourselves out there completely in the past. And for me, it was I was afraid of anybody rejecting me or laughing at me or whatever, which is still rejection in a sense. So I didn't want to do something or say something around certain people that I thought may not appreciate that. So I kept things hidden, and that's really easy to do, especially if you have been bullied as a kid. You might still be a kid and you might still be getting bullied by some people. It's just kind of like I don't know whatever that's called, hierarchy system. It's just the way it is, like circle of life thing. I don't know. But you don't have to let that affect you on a deep level, because those people, yeah, sure, we could go turn around to the next kid or person and bully them because we've been bullied, and then that creates like a vicious cycle and a loop that never ends. And it's really unnecessary to do that, because it's better just to either ignore the person. I don't like ignoring people, but if there's no way to avoid being bullied, then you have to just stand up for yourself. I don't know. Either do something that's going to be best for you and not trying to appease this person or people that are completely insecure and just seeing something in you that they have not recognized in themselves yet, and it's not about you. So you keep doing you, because that's going to make a bigger impact than you worrying about these people that are wasting their energy trying to make you look bad or feel bad. So do your thing, because you'll probably be famous and rich and they won't be. Anyway, let's see what else I can come up with before I decide to end this video. I don't like to go past 15 minutes is my usual goal. Think for yourselves. Have individuality. Yeah, you know what? I always thought, I'm weird, and people probably think I'm weird. If they really get to know me and we click really well, then they're probably weird too. But you know what? Weird doesn't exist, because everybody's weird. But people who will admit it or think, oh yeah, I'm weird, and they're okay with it, are usually just people who can go with the flow, and they're okay with being colorful, being themselves, and that's good. So keep doing that. Humor and quirks in people. Honesty, transparency, authenticity, sincerity, kindness. Yeah, you can be sincere with people and still be quirky and have a sense of humor. And some people are going to get you and some people aren't, but that's okay, because you're always changing and people and things are always changing. So you will adapt. They will adapt to you eventually, or maybe they won't, and that's okay too. You will always have somebody that is in alignment with who you are. At any given point in time, you might feel lonely at times, but there's always going to be somebody, if you think hard enough, who is that one person that really clicks with you, that really understands you on a deeper level. You don't have to try to be somebody else when you're around them, because that is awkward when you feel like you have to hold back who you are, or you have to kind of talk about something different than what you would normally talk about because the other person just doesn't get it, and that could go both ways. So that's just life, I guess. But don't keep holding yourself back just because you assume other people might not understand you or get you, or think that you're too weird and they reject you or something. They're just not on the same wavelength at that point in time, but they may get there eventually, or they already were there and they already shifted out of that mindset or something, like you never know the whole story, or you might eventually know with certain people who go that deep with you, but if they don't, then they don't, and you can't force it. So just be yourself and enjoy your life, have fun, be silly and goofy and quirky, because it's more fun that way. I hope that you guys have a really good New Year's Eve and New Year's Day tomorrow, and a New Year's week and a New Year's months and a new year of 2022, because I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm really excited about these online dance classes that I'm coming up with. There's going to be some lives in there, and there's going to be some tutorial videos that are pre-recorded. But I'm gathering that information from you guys first to see what you would want and how to organize it, because my body still does hurt, so I have to kind of delegate certain days to more activity and recording this stuff if I'm going to record it. So with that being said, again, I am here to help bring out the inner magic you have always had but forgot about.